Hello, welcome to ZIM Capture. I'm inventor Dan Zen, and ZIMJS.com is an open source framework to make interactive media on the HTML canvas using JavaScript and Create.js. In this capture, we're going to take a look at tabs. All right, tabs is a component found in the ZIM build module. Let's go into some code now. And we can say var tabs is equal to a new zim dot tabs, like so, blah blah blah. And let's see what the default looks like. Tabs dot center on the stage, and we pop on into a browser. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now tabs look good if they're on top of something usually, although we can use the tabs as a button bar. We can increase the spacing here, and these could be just a bunch of buttons at the bottom of your page. And as a matter of fact, they could be tabs on the bottom if you think about it. Your doc could be here and tabs on the bottom. Anyway, tabs are often thought of as being above some content. So let's create some content. How about var page is equal to a new zim dot, I'll just do a rectangle for now, and we'll call that, or set it to, how about 600 wide and 500 high, and we'll make it frame dot blue. And blue is just a property on the frame, which gives us a Zim blue. You can make that any color, like quote red. And then we go, let's see, we're going to put this underneath the tab. So we'll center this one too, and that will be page.center on the stage, like so. But we'll move it down a little bit. So we can say page.y is equal to tabs dot y plus tabs dot height, and that should place it pretty specifically. And better move this whole thing up a bit. So let's move our tabs up. Tabs, well, we move it up after we center it. Tabs dot y minus equals, looked like we had to move that up a fair bit, huh? Minus equals 2001. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Whatever, we could put some words in those tabs too. Normally we would put our tabs on the left. But let's go in and see what we can do to these tabs, huh? We sort of got something almost looking like tabs. Ooh, oh. And where we can see that is in the documentation. So we go to the ZIM site, zimjs.com, pizzazz, and hit the docs. And in the docs, we'll type in tabs, and here we are. Of course, there's ZIM captures on tabs. There will be a ZIM capture on tabs. We're doing it now. There's a ZIM bits, sorry, on tabs. There's an example in the documentation and so forth. And we'll pop on back now that we've copied all that stuff. Where are we making the tabs here? And let's see what we can do to it. Whoa. Spacing, so put a little spacing there. Flat bottom, key enabled, gradient, gloss. Ooh. So a width and a height to them. What happens if we were to set that? Let's start with the configuration object here. Oh, glib, glib, glib. Should have started with the configuration object a little bit earlier. So here we are, and a width of 600. Well, how big was our rectangle? 600. Do you see a good thing happening here? Oh, boo. Width colon 600. How disappointing. Blackness. There we go. So now our tabs have gone right across the top, which, I actually don't really like that completely. I prefer my tabs to be a little less wide than that, say 500, and actually start over at the left. So tabs dot x minus equals, well, I'll hard code the difference, 100. I think that might do it. Then again, it might not. What do we do wrong? Oh, we're centering it on both sides, so it's half that, 50. There we are. And even that looks a little bit awkward, but I mean, obviously you can play with these things. Let's pop it back down to 400 and see how it goes. Oh, but now it's 200 less, and pop that back up to 100. So that's where you might want to set a variable so we can adjust things like this lickety split. Oh, do you like that? Lickety split. Now, with these tabs, what about, I mean, we can customize them, and we'll look at customizing them even more, but how do we find out if they're changing, and can we do something when they change? All right, so let's do that. What we'll do is we'll sort of fake it here. We'll say tabs dot on, and we capture a change event. So no faking it here. That's what we do. And we go comma a function like so. Oh. And now in here, we're going to change the color of the page. So that would look something like page.color colon or equals frame dot green. Okay, and that will only change it once to green, but let's see what happens. So there we change it's green, but now it maintains its green. So that's how we capture an event. Now we might want to make it so that each tab is represented by a color, for instance, and this would be a page, like perhaps a container for each page, and then as you hit the tabs, you're adding and removing the container, that kind of thing. But I think there's some examples of that happening. However, what we're going to do now is just set the colors. So var colors is equal to an array of colors, frame.blue, frame.yellow, frame.pink, punk color. Frame dot, what are we missing? Oh, we'll use that green. Okay, so we got 4 tabs. Although we could have more tabs, but 4 tabs sounds pretty good, I guess. We'll show you how to customize those tabs in just a sec. So frame.blue, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and then we're going to set the color to be whatever color is in tabs dot selected index property. Okay, so page.color is equal to whatever is in colors at that. So colors at tabs.selectedIndex. All right, so this is going to be 0, 1, 2, or 3. And we're going to change the color to whatever is in the array as 0, 1, 2, or 3 by setting the page color for that rectangle. And we refresh. Now, we should have probably started with one of those colors, I think. Oh, maybe we got lucky. All right, probably what we should be doing is saying something like page.color is equal to colors at 0, just to make sure that we've got the right start color, which I think by default we did have page. Do we have page made yet? Oh, it's okay to access page here in the event when we change the tab because page will have been made, but it's not okay to access page here because we have not made the page yet. So now we have made the page. And there we are. We didn't revel in that last time. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Amazing. Okay, what if we wanted to put some words on there rather than 1, 2, 3, 4? What would that look like? Here's the tabs. Let's go into the documentation and just take a look. Oh, we did that already. But one of the things here, we've got width, height, and tabs. comes next. And it's sort of like, tabs, that sounds important since we're in tabs. So here it is. So the default is an array of 1, 2, 3, 4. An array of tab objects with the following properties available. Any tab specified properties will override the default values from other parameters, because we've got all these parameters in here with roll colors, off colors, that kind of stuff. Maybe that's it. Color, roll color, off color. And we can specify those things right inside the tab as well, or we can keep it simple. So it needs to be an array. I'm going to just grab this array. Label can be a string or a ZIM label. Default text color is white. Okay, so we pop back in here with the 400 and tabs, colon, and it might look like something like this. There's a big long one. Ooh, that's kind of everything. Etc. is kind of nothing. So I'm just stacking this here for us. So tabs is an array of object literals. So why don't we just comment that out and make a nice easy one. Label, colon, what was the first color? Blue. And then another one. I'll just copy these. Copy, copy, copy. So there's 4 nice simple ones. Blue, yellow, pink, green. Blue, yellow, pink, green. And let's see what happens. Okay, so our tabs is an array of tab objects. And you need a label for the tab object. I'm not sure what happens if you leave it off. It might make a blank one. Blue, yellow, pink, green. Blue, yellow is now highlighted, pink, and green. Well, what if we wanted to set it so that when it's highlighted, it's actually the color of the page? That would look really cool, wouldn't it? Okay, so blue. Blues here, and that means we can customize these. You see it's got a color of red and a roll color of pink. We'll just leave the roll colors default, but we'll snag the color of red. It's not a color of red. Well, now we're going to need the colors. So we'll put our colors up top here. It's going to be colors at 0, and the other ones will follow suit. They won't be at 0, they'll be at their index here. So that would be 1, 2, and 3. So we've got our colors up there, and we're going to say, hey, please make the color of me when I'm selected. I believe that's a selected color. I hope so, because there's an off color. So that's when you're completely off. There's when you're rolling, and so color is probably when it's selected. We shall soon see. When we refresh here, blue, yellow, pink, green. Wicked. Now, if we don't like the white lettering there, looks pretty good, we could specify the color of that label right in here as well. And how do we do that? Oh, we would have to apply a custom label. So for yellow, we would then make a new ZIM label with a yellow color. Well, we wouldn't want a yellow color, some other color, like a dark color that would go on the yellow, for instance. Okay, we can make beautiful tabs. What other parameters do we have here? So do you get that? We can also specify the width here. Say yellow is a little bit crowded. We could say width, colon, I don't know how big it is right now, but we'll just try 200 and see how that looks. Refresh. Now it keeps the width, overall width, and it makes this one bigger, and therefore it squeezes, it applies the difference back to these other ones here, and since those have no widths assigned, they're just divided by 3, so whatever width is left divided by 3 after we've applied this to yellow. Now that's a little bit too much for yellow. We may still want, I don't think it's necessary really. Yellow was close, but it wasn't that bad. Now that's still not as nice there, but we might want to go to 160. Green's having a little bit of difficulty, even more, 140. Green's having a bit of difficulty there too. It's a touch close. Let's go 120, and we'll put a width on green as well. We might not have to if that's sitting at 120. Let's just, I don't know what the what it's going to be. Is it got a width of 400, so it's going to be 100. We'll give that 110. Desktop reveal. Help, my desktop is naked. Which one do I get? This one, yeah, sorry. Okay, 110, I'm just trying to go here, refresh. Okay, you get the idea. So now green has a little bit more room, yellow has a little bit room, blue's all right. And we can give them all a little bit more room by, you know, well, a couple things. Is there a height? If we specify a height, what happens? Height colon 60, comma. Let's just see if it changes our font for us. Didn't do much. Is that the default? And pop into the definition, height, default 60. Okay, lucky us. So I'm at a height of 40. And refresh. And now we've got little font, so the font seems to be based roughly on that, and that opens it up. That's not too bad. I kind of like that. Maybe it could do with 50, huh? What do you think? And there's also this thing called flat bottom. Now, is that it? I thought these things were supposed to be showing me rounded tops. Corner. So we may have to go to corner and then flat bottom it. So I think as soon as I go to corner, it defaults to flat bottom. Yeah, that's how it works. I knew it was something tricky. As soon as we apply a corner, it's going to just round the top corners. Flat bottom by default will then be set to true. And if you set flat bottom to false, then you end up with, let's see if that's how it works. Let's change a corner here. Well, we don't want to split up width and height there. So corner, colon, can we get away with 20? We'll see. I think we can. Look at that. Are you just smiling now? I mean, that makes me smile. That's just so lovely. Oh, isn't it lovely? Do you like that? So a little corner. There's spacing as well. We've got the spacing set. So if you're not into that for the spacing, that's somewhere here as well, spacing. Spacing colon 5, comma. And we refresh here. There's some more spacing on those tabs. Now, if you did turn that flat bottom on, by the way, this and what flat bottom will help you with is if you're not doing tags, you just want rounded buttons. Flat bottom colon false, comma. If you just wanted a button set, that would give you a button set. Now note, it messes up the label a little bit, but you can change the label relatively easy. I'm pretty sure. I'm chuckling. It's relatively easy. It would be in the docs, I believe. Docs, come back down here. Properties. Buttons, an array of the ZIM button objects. Button at 0 enable. Labels, an array of the ZIM label objects, such as labels at 2.y minus equals 10. So we would have to loop through those. So do you want to see that? Labels at y. So if we come in here, we've made a bunch of, say we've used this to make a bunch of buttons. We put rounded corners on them. If they're rectangular, you have no problem. It's nice and centered there. But the reason why it's off here, let's just reduce the page, so we won't add the page to the stage. No adding the page to the stage. And so if we were using tabs to give us a bunch of rounded buttons, we have a problem because it's sort of set to look nice with a flat bottom against tabs. So if we want to boost the height of those labels on our button set here, then you could do something like this. So we've made our tabs. Did we make our tabs? Yeah, our tabs are up above. We can then say ZIM dot loop round brackets. We're going to loop through, what are we looping through? Tab dot labels, comma, and we're going to call this function each time, and we will receive a label for each one. And then we just say label.y, and we're bringing that back up. I don't know if we need to bring it up 10, but why don't we? And we refresh this here. And let me take a look at what happened. F12. Tab is not defined. Tab. Oh, tabs, plural. Tabs. Tabs is what holds our labels. That's an array of labels. Each time we do this ZIM loop, we're given a label, like an element of tabs. We're given a label, and then we're going to take that label and just adjust its Y. So this should have worked right away, but unfortunately I had a little typo spelling. And I would say that 10 is too much. How about more like 3, maybe even 2? There we go. Okay. So as mentioned, it's fairly easy to adjust those labels. You could even pop this into one line if you wanted to be totally sneaky about it. There we are. And we don't have to do it way down here. We could have done it up more closer to the tabs. So there's where we made the tabs. There. Okay, and our stuff is set. Now, we don't really want to do that because, heck, we don't even really want a flat bottom. No, thank you. And we want to bring our page back. I want my page. I demand the page. Bring us back the page. And we refresh here. And it's like, oh, yes, we're back to happy as can be. So, is that most of the things on tabs? I think we saw how we can capture an event. What else was there? There's some custom labeling, also roll colors and off colors. Those could be adjusted, etc. You can set the roll colors and off colors initially as well with roll color and off color, and that sets the defaults for all of them. Label colors. Oh, we can swap a label color right there. That's handy. Flat bottom key. I think that might be because maybe these are not custom labels. Oh, no, they are. But I just found that, yeah, the label color was something that, there's so many of these things rather than go in and do custom buttons just for a color. I threw that in there. Aren't we lucky? All right, this is Inventor Dan Zen. We're here at ZIM, and we're doing a ZIM Capture at zimjs.com on tabs, and we'll catch you guys later. Check out all the other captures, zimjs.com, and especially have a look at the Learn section. Ciao.